Hey, it's Ethan, and hopefully today is the day that we get my transmission finally put into my drift car because I finally got my clutch in and I am ready to install it. I just have to pull the motor and put the transmission and clutch on. So I have my pressure plate, my flywheel, and my clutch. So let's hopefully get started. First thing we're gonna do is we are gonna take the transmission off of the shelf and start cleaning it up a little bit because it's really gross. Then we have to clean up these mounts and stuff because I just want everything to be nice and clean and not greasy. So let's get started on that and see how far we get. All right, so I got the transmission off the shelf. I got some brake clean and some brushes, and we're just gonna go around and scrub this whole thing down and get it looking a little bit better than it is. Before, this is how I got it looking so far. I still have to do this side, and then I have to drain the fluid, fill it back up because I'm gonna put new fluid in this thing. So I'm actually gonna run to AutoZone real quick, grab new fluid, then come back and we'll drain it, put new fluid in, and finish cleaning it. All right, so I got royal purple for my transmission fluid. Hopefully I've heard it's some good shit, so might as well try it out. Look what I found though. See this? This is like 5 threads in. Isn't that insane? So we're gonna go around and bolt check this whole thing because that's not good. So we're gonna bolt check this whole transmission before we put it back in. So let's get the wrenches out, well, the socket out, and bolt check this thing. All right, so we nut and bolt check this whole transmission. All of them were tight. I don't understand why that one was loose, but whatever, who cares? And we got the drift car in the shop. So let's take off this whole front clip here, headlights, everything. And then we'll take out the motor and we'll put the transmission on with the motor hanging. And then once the transmission's on, we'll change the fluid because it's easier to do it while it's in the air. And then we will put the engine back in the car and hopefully everything lines up and we can just bolt it right in. And 4 screws later and the whole front clip is off. So let's take out these motor mounts, take off the intake, and we can actually start putting the hoist together and getting everything set up to pull the engine out. All right, so everything is ready to go. I have this set up. With these tightened down, I have these on the motor mounts unbolted. So I'm just gonna take this plastic piece off because we don't need it on and I don't want to crack it. And then we are gonna get the engine hoist over here and hook this up and yank this thing out real quick. All right, and the engine is basically out. Just have to pull it forward here. And the engine's out, look at that. And then we'll bolt the flywheel up to the engine and we'll get everything set there. And then once all that's torqued down and everything and the clutch and the flywheel is on, then we can bring the transmission over and put it up and actually mate the transmission to the flywheel and to the engine and actually install it and be happy with exactly how it turned out. So this pilot bearing puller that I have is not small enough. So I have to go get one that is small enough to fit this. So I'm gonna go do that because I have to take this pilot bearing out. This one's crusty as hell. I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty nasty. So we're gonna take the pilot bearing out and then replace the rear main seal and then replace, there's a little gasket that goes around the rear main seal bracket here. I don't know if you can see, but it's right here. So we're gonna replace that as well. So we'll just take this whole thing off and we'll replace all that and then we'll finally be able to install our transmission. So there's a few things that I do not wanna do twice. Removing a pilot bearing with bread, that is one of them. All right, so we got the rear main seal in, and then we have this sealed up. We have a paper gasket and RTV on this plate, and then we re-RTV'd this spot right here. And so we're gonna put in the pilot bearing, and then after we put in the pilot bearing, we can install the flywheel and the clutch. It's not going in exactly straight. Straighten it out a little bit. You'll know once it's going in straight whenever it just pops right in. And then you're going to take your socket that's the exact size and you're going to put it right over it. And then you're going to smack it with the mallet. And see how it's going in there nice and even? Just want to keep doing that until you can't do it anymore. Let's just make sure that that's it. That looks like it's fully seated in there. It's 77 foot-pounds to torque this flywheel down. All right, I need to grab the bolts for the clutch to bolt it to the flywheel, and then we can finally put the transmission on. So let me go grab those bolts real quick, and we can bolt up the clutch, the pressure plate to the flywheel. So let's do that. All right, so I have the pressure plate here. I had to go get better hardware, not better hardware, but longer hardware, because the ones I bought were too short. So we're gonna spray this rag with brake clean and wipe down both surfaces, because they put manufacturing oils on them, and you really don't want that to be between where your clutch goes. Then your clutch will start slipping, and it just won't be a good time. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I will set you guys up when we can put this pressure plate and the actual clutch disc, which is over there, on, and get it all lined up and everything ready to go. All right, so I can't get this transmission to slide into the input shaft, or whatever the fuck it's called. I can't get it to go into the pilot bearing. So I'm having some friends come over, and they're coming to help me, because I can't do this by myself. So I will catch back up to you guys whenever my friends get here to help out. Boom. We had to put a blanket over it because it's going outside again. I don't want water getting in it. But the transmission's in. Let me show you guys. Let me get up under here real quick. Transmission is in. Man, can't see it. Nice. But it's in. We actually got stopped today because there's one transmission bolt mount that broke off, and so we have to get a nut, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't remember the name, but it's so we can a rib nut gun. We have to get another one because the ones we have doesn't get to the right size. So we have to get a rib nut gun, and then once that's done, we can start wiring it up and get everything ready to start. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you later.